Hey guys, so I just had an important message for you guys. So earlier this year, probably actually even before this year, in like December, God gave me this heavy warning in my heart, in my spirit, um, about substances, about indulging, about smoking, weed, um, drinking, you know, indulging into temptation. The warning was if you continue to do these things, there's going to be consequence. There's going to be consequences in your life. And I heeded to that warning. And I went about 7 months and, you know, faithfully, not doing anything. And this goes for other people. I'm sure people are going through the same thing. And God warns us because when we indulge in these things, when we smoke weed, when we drink, we open ourselves and we make ourselves vulnerable to attacks of the enemy. They come in, they cause confusion. There is this like veil, this fog that comes over us spiritually and emotionally that we can't fully operate the way we're supposed to operate. We can't fully interact with people the way that we need to interact. Um, he causes confusion. He tries to break down things that God's been building. You know what I mean? And there's a reason why God tells us not to do certain things. Because when we're disobedient and we act through our fleshly desires and we just, do what we want to do, it's it's allowing certain things into our lives that we don't want. It's pushing people away that we love because the devil wants us to be in isolation. You know what I mean? And so when we're vulnerable, he's going to try to influence us because he has that crack in the door that he's going to kick right open to plant seeds of confusion, plant seeds of havoc, plant seeds of doubt and worry and manipulation. And so we start questioning people around us. We start questioning ourselves. We start questioning our walk with God. We start doubting things because we're not fully present to be fully sober minded. That's why God calls us to be sober minded because He wants to protect us. He wants us to be fully present, fully conscious, fully acting through the Spirit because the Holy Spirit can't dwell in you when you're under these influences. The Holy Spirit cannot live in a dirty household. It needs a clean vessel to reside in you. So when you're under the influence of these things, it hinders you in more ways than one. And I think we underestimate it so much. You ever realize like fights or confusion or things happen, you know, when you're either drinking or you're smoking? Um, I haven't smoked, but I have drank. And people around me, maybe they haven't drank, but they smoked. You know what I'm saying? And my life was smooth sailing when I was sober minded. And I'm not saying that's how it's always going to be, but it allows us to stay in that connection with the Holy Spirit. It allows us to have that connection with God and get that true guidance and have that true clarity of who people are and who we are in people's lives. And it's just so important that you know this. And it's so important that we're aware of the attacks and the vulnerability that we could put ourselves in if we're not truly obedient to God. And He just wants to protect us because He is a great and loving Father. And He is there to teach us lessons, even if the lessons are hard. Because if you don't listen, what happens when a child doesn't listen? They have to get punished. I mean, that sounds harsh, but it's the reality, because if we are not punished, we will never learn, and will always be vulnerable, and will always be attacked. And God really wants the best for us, even no matter what it looks like. So, stay strong, stay sober minded, be diligent, and be aware that even the crack of a door allows the enemy to kick that door right in. So, protect yourself, love yourself, and God bless.